Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ooh, good morning. So for oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, good morning, Dung Beetle. Good morning, Grass Toucher. Good morning, Jen's mom. Good morning, Breezy Girl. Good morning, my Vanessa. Good morning. Good morning, Michelle LaBelle. Good morning, Ann M. Okay, let me come on camera for a minute. I'm here. I am still on vacation. I'm not trying to do hair or anything until Thursday evening. Good morning, Mugdy Siegel. How are you? So the big thing is, oh my God. Let's see. The big thing is Murdaugh and his bid for a retrial. Then I was sent an article by my cousin about this is crazy. TNT Crane and Rigging, which is one of the biggest crane providers in the country. Good morning, Sassy Scarlett. Good morning. And if you see their laydown yard in Texas, I used to pass it every day. This company is huge. They are being sued because of discrimination, racial discrimination. Good morning, my Michelle LaBelle. Good morning, Sassy Scarlett. Good morning, Christoph Fan always. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, and this is against 4 Black employees. Oh, let me turn my volume down. This is against 4 Black employees. Eklund, Lorenzo, Freddie, and Jason. I'm not giving all their last names. The suit states that the employee's field manager and colleagues used racial slurs and displayed hate symbols like noose and lightning bolt stickers with no disciplinary action. In one incident, Smith, who worked as a crane operator, said the field manager used the N-word when he asked for help picking up an air conditioning unit in 2018. Now, my problem is this is 2018. We're already in 2023, and we're just following this lawsuit, okay? Good morning, Breezy Girl, sweetie. Christoph Van, always good morning. So it was said that the field manager said, and if you're going to bitch about it, you need to turn that truck around and take your ass home, the manager said. Smith attempted to report the incident, but didn't receive an effective response from management. Again, this happened in 2018. Good morning, Jody B. This happened in 2018. We're now filing this lawsuit in 2023. The suit further alleges that Campbell, a truck driver, was referred to as Black Daddy by his white coworkers. Then Jason, who served as a rigger, said a white colleague once told him, "A lot of Black people are fucking lazy." Oh my God. Woo. And then it goes to say, "You're different. You're not like the other ends. You work though. That's what I like about you," the colleague allegedly said. The lawsuit seeks damages for compensatory and punitive damages for the Black employees. They state that TNT knowingly permitted a work environment filled with racial comments and imaginary. No employee should have to work in an environment openly hostile to their race. No employee should suffer reprisal for objecting to discriminatory practices. This is freaking crazy. This is crazy. So you meaning to tell me you filed this complaint with your employee in 2018 when it first happened, and they did nothing. They didn't reprimand the field managers. They didn't fire them. And now in 2023, you are filing this lawsuit for a hostile work environment. And this is one of the biggest crane providers in the country. Wait a minute, I need to go for more tests. Doctor doesn't know what's going on. Blood work wasn't good. I just want to know what's going on. Oh, Michelle, I'm praying for you too. This is sad. This is really, really sad. And to say that Black people are lazy. Black people who helped build this country are lazy. Black people who invented, it was a Black person that invented a lot of these surgical tools. Oh my God, I just can't. I can't. I just can't. And just keeping with what we were talking about the other day, I just can't. So my cousin heard my live stream and she sent me this article. Good morning, Mr. Jimenez. I am so sorry. I fell asleep in Angels last night. Thank you for being here. I am so sorry. I really can't. This is going on, but I get 2018, so 5 years ago, and now you have 4 employees that's filing suit against this company. And they filed a suit with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Well, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed the lawsuit on behalf of these employees. I wish somebody would on my job say that kind of shit to me. I understand people need to work. I understand they need to take care of their families. I understand all of that. I really do. But to have someone speak to you on the job in that manner is disgusting. Now, good morning, Casey. I'm having a great day. Good morning, sweet harmony. It's unacceptable. It really, really is. It is unacceptable. And I know these guys be out there, they're talking trash, but to subject people to this. So if they're speaking to the Black employees like this, how are they speaking to the Hispanics? How are they speaking to the other races that are on the job? I mean, the other racial, the other ethnicities that are out there. That's what I want to know. This is in Texas, but the suit was filed. This is Texas. Good morning, DC. Yes, you can have the first dance. Now, if you do that on a Friday night, I can be up. And I was going to go, I was going to work today, but I don't go back to Friday. And I thought about it. I know I'm going to have a lot of stuff to get caught up on, but I'm enjoying just this time. And the fact that Killa's in school and I don't have to have conversations and rip and run, I can sleep. So that's what I plan on doing, because it's going to be a hell of a fall for me. So I'm going to get every bit of rest that I can get right about now. Oh, they are a crane company. I mean, you see all these big old cranes that are out there on the freeways. It's TNT, Crane&Rigging. That's the company. I don't think we're going to get them shut down at all. They are one of the largest in the country, and it is the truth. I used to pass their laydown yard off of 59, and this thing is huge. They're the ones you see out there building for, and they deploy them all over the place. It's like Tarmac. They're one of the biggest concrete companies. Well, they were. I don't know, but now. It's just crazy. They build our infrastructure. They build everything. Their equipment is on every site you see. So can you imagine this shit is going on? Can you imagine these people have to go to work and be subjected to the, and they do pay good money, but the thing is, I think they're taking advantage of what they're paying to these people to be able to get to talk to them like that. And you're calling a black man black daddy by a white co-worker. Not co-worker, co-workers called him black daddy. Now, you know that even though you call, they're called whistleblowers or whatever, they cannot reprimand them. They cannot do anything to make them lose their jobs. I guarantee if they're still working for this company, they're going to feel the heat. But people don't understand. If you lose hours or whatever because of this lawsuit, that can be attached to that lawsuit. If you feel that you're being more discriminated against, hello, MobTube Chronicles, that can be added to that lawsuit. This is just crazy. It really, really is. It's crazy. I just don't understand in this day and age how people think you can get away with this. And they do, because a lot of people fear for their jobs because they need to work to provide for their families. So a lot of people accept that treatment. They look at the money, they look at the job market to see if they're able to find another job that's going to pay them what they're being paid by this company. But you're being subjected to racial slurs day in and day out on the job. And that is not acceptable at all. So, I look at it, I have to look at it objectively, and I do. But the fear that you're not going to be able to provide for your family, the fear that, if you walk off the job, if somebody calls to get a reference for you, and even though it's illegal, the only thing they should be able to tell them when they call for a reference was the day you were hired, the day your employment ended, and the salary. That's the only thing you're allowed to find out now when you do, when you call for a reference. And normally it's an 800 number. If somebody does something to keep you from getting another job, you can sue them. If you were fired, now, if you committed larceny or whatever else, that's going to be a record. So if they pull that, a lot of companies will file those charges. And it is terrible. Hi, Wind Whispers. Hello. Do I have a mod in here? Do I have a mod? What? Mr. Jimenez is here. Breezy girl. Good morning. Could you grab the MobTube Chronicles link and drop her link in the chat? And Mr. Jimenez, please. It's just sad. It is really, really sad on what's going on in this day and age. So, I'm waiting to find out about this lawsuit. Supposedly, they're filing a lawsuit on this California school where Yaya, they call him Yaya, the 12-year-old, was forced to run in the heat, and he collapsed and died. And it's not just because it was a black kid, it's any kid. Any kid shouldn't be subjected to that at all. Thank you, Breezy. No kid should be subjected to that. But you go to school and you just don't come home. It wasn't because of some crazy person was running around shooting in the school. It's because you had a nasty ass teacher that wanted to punish you for not dressing out and didn't help you when you asked for help. Hi, Roses Are Red. And they don't tell you if the teacher was black, white, green, yellow, whatever. But this little boy said he couldn't breathe, asked the teacher for some water, and he collapsed. So these little kids that are 12, they're not going to sit there and say, oh, he was asking for water. No, they told the truth. He was asking and he was begging the teacher for water. Their words were begging. Hi, Knitting with Amanda Panda. Good morning. Mr. Jimenez, everybody, they can't feel but being respectful. I mean, that you exude respect. You come into a room and you show respect to everyone in the room. Yep, it doesn't say the color of the individual. You're right, Wind Whispers. You're absolutely right. That leads me to believe they're white. And I'm telling you, when Kayla was sick and she called me, well, she texted me from school one day and she told me she said that she didn't feel like she could participate in gym. Her stomach was upset. She felt really nauseated. And I said, well, don't dress out. I said, sit there. She said, well, they're going to make her. I got on that phone so quick and called that school. And I told them I gave her permission to sit out. If that means she can't be in the gym, or if that means she has to go to the library or whatever, that's where she's going. She's not going to participate if she's not feeling well. Point blank, period. But it doesn't say this little boy wasn't feeling well. He was just forced to run. And he wasn't dressed for that heat. He was still in his street clothes. He wasn't in gym attire. But then we don't know if he was in his gym clothes, if it would have been any different. Good morning, Jenny O. No, I didn't say they were being prosecuted. I said that the family is looking at suing the school district. I remember I had a gym teacher one time that was fat. I said, get the hell out of here. And you want us to run? I hated gym. And I'm going to tell you, when I was in school, I had straight A's and I had an F in PE. And my mother was like, how in the hell you get an F? And then the teacher my mother taught. I wasn't running. I wasn't sweating. I do not like to sweat to this day. The teacher told my mother, all she has to do is just dress out. Those girls in the locker room would be so nasty. They smelled so bad. I hated going in there to change clothes. But if that was going to get me a C, or I would dress out. And then I got into playing volleyball and tennis. I really enjoyed that. But I'm not going in no gym. And they just nasty. They smelled horrible. And then we had one gym teacher. They said that she was cleaning her gun and she accidentally shot herself. No, she committed S. She and her girlfriend had broken up. Her name was Ms. McGowan. Never forget that. Ms. McGowan. We came to school and we heard the news over the loudspeaker. And we were like, no, because she was actually kind of sweet on one of the other girls in the class. And then we had one gym teacher who was a male gym teacher, and he was dicking everything in the classrooms. Seriously. I was like, his name was Mr. Thompson. I told my mom, I said, I heard this one girl talking, but she and Mr. Thompson went out to eat. She was like, what? I said, yep. So this stuff has been going on forever with teachers and students. Yep, that's true. You can be naked in a pool. And that's why I said it doesn't, we don't know how it would have turned out. We have no idea if he was hydrated, but he was begging the teacher, telling her he couldn't breathe and asking her for water. So my prayers are for that family, and it's just sad. It is very, very sad. But they called him Yaya. His name is Yasher, but they called him Yaya. And then we have Alec Murdaugh. I just can't believe this shit. I really can't. I knew, when after they did the trial and everything, and they were talking about the verdict, and I was like, he's going to file an appeal. He's going to file an appeal. Most people will file an appeal, not knowing what he was going to file the appeal on. So I was like, wait a minute. My son had a IEP because he had a neuromuscular disease, and a sub made him stand against the wall. What? Stand against the wall in front of everyone because he couldn't run and shoot. Get the hell out of here. Did you go to the school and raise hell and actually drag her? There you go. There you go. Take their damn jobs. Oh, he's trying to get away with murder. So I pulled that affidavit, but I have a clip of I just can't believe this, but the jurors have put in affidavits of what happened. You have juror number 630. You have, let me see, what are these juror numbers? You have juror number, 630. You have, is there another juror? Hold on. What's the other juror? Is it just one juror that's stating this? I just see juror number 785, 630. This is but I'm going to play this clip real quick. He could barely walk. We were waiting. Oh my God. I am so sorry, Sassy. How long ago was this? I'm telling you, I have dealt with some nasty ass teachers before, but Nathan took me through a whole hoopla. I'm telling you, smartest kid in the world, but God, he had an attitude in school. It's like he didn't take shit from nobody. $20 years ago in the lawsuits that could, yes. Oh, Jody, bye, sweetie. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. I'm Nathan. I remember when he was little, he was in elementary school. He had he had behavior issues, and it was the fact that they found that when they tested him, he was boarding class. He would do all his work, and then he started causing a whole bunch of shit. So I had to go to school one day. They called me, and they were telling me about Nathan in class. So the teacher, because I called, and I had the meeting with the principal and the teacher. And the teacher sat there and she said, "You people." I said, "Excuse me?" And she said it again. I was in that office and I said, "I don't know who the fuck you're calling you people, but you need to adjust yourself." And I told her, I don't want my son anywhere in her classroom because the next time I come back, it's not going to be good for her or me. And they removed Nathan from that class that day. She was always picking on him, and he would just rebel. He spit on her one day, and I did. I popped him right in the mouth for spitting on anybody. You don't spit on people. But I didn't realize, I'm serious. It was just horrible. And then when he was in high school, I've had many incidents, but the last one was when he was in high school and he was doing the work program. So he would go to school. He only had 2-3 classes, and then he would go to work because he had already met his credits. But he had to be in school for a certain amount of time. So he was in school, and he was in the cafeteria, and he was on the phone trying to find where his ride was, because they would ride together to go to work. And they worked at oh my God, the Marathon. They worked at Marathon by the Galleria, the oil and gas company. He worked at Marathon through high school. So he was trying to find his ride. So he calls me. He tells me that the teacher was trying to take his phone. I said, what do you mean take your phone? He said, well, I was on the phone and I was trying to find my ride. I didn't know where she was. And I didn't want to. I said, what do you mean trying to take your phone? He goes, well, I'm off campus. I said, well, how are they going to take your phone? And he was like, I don't know. Oh my God, I called that school. I got this man on the phone. I went off on him. I told him if he took his phone, he better be ready to pay for that fucking phone bill. I told him he didn't buy the phone. He bet not. I went off on this man. So the next day, Nathan told me he went to school. He said, what did you say to him? He was apologizing to me. He was this, that, and the other. And then I said, Nathan, he told me that you were in the cafeteria on your phone. He goes, well, technically, I was off campus. Technically, he was off campus. I said, you motherfucker. He did. He told me, he goes, well, technically, I was off campus. He said, according to my schedule. I said, Nathan, you were still in a cafeteria. You didn't tell me that part. He was like, oh, my bad. I done called this teacher and called him everything but the child of God and told him, don't he ever? I did. And then when I went to the school, when they had this event and I introduced myself to him, that man, I was horrible. I was really, really horrible. I did the same thing with Chris's teacher. You know, this little girl was in class stinking. And, you know, he told her, don't talk to him. He smelled. Well, the teacher wants to have a conference and she says, most kids can't afford Sean, John, and whatever else. I said, so let me get this right. So if they can't afford soap and water, I can send them some. The little girl, she would pee on herself and her mother wouldn't give her a bath and she smelled bad. And she was always trying to hug up on Chris. And Chris told her that she stinks. These are little kids. They were in first, second grade. And the teacher wanted to have a conference with what they called his mom and his dad. So when my son called to tell me what the teacher said, and he was overseas, I said, what? I said, what did you tell her? He was like, well, you know, I just told her I would talk to her. I said, wait a minute. You're going to let this woman tell you that people can't afford to do. I said, that has nothing to do. Chris can go to school in a raggedy shit. He won't smell. And at that time, he used to pee in the bed. I would get him up in the morning, put him in a shower. Take a shower before you go to school. And I told her, I said, if this little girl's family can't afford soap and water, I'll be more than happy to send it to them. I said, don't you ever. And that woman didn't want, I said, the whole time he was in elementary, she avoided me like the plague. You don't let these teachers talk to you about your kids and tell them anything. If they're wrong, they're wrong. But you don't do that and make to make a child feel bad. You can't do that. You can't cross them. These kids speak what, especially when they're younger, they just come out their mouth and say it. They don't know, decorum and how to say stuff. He just told her, you stink, get away from me. So anyway, I just had to go off on that little tangent real quick because that teacher just pissed me off. I put myself in this mother's position. And how would you feel? You send your child to school and then you get a call. He's being rushed to the hospital. You get to the hospital, your child is deceased. Disgusting. Yep, and they should be the one person that your child can feel safe with. Good morning, damn it, Mandy. And they should be, but they're not. They're not. And this has been going on for so long. Even Catholic schools, these nuns are disgusting. I'm telling you, I grew up with some sisters that they would pop you for the hell of it. And now that I think about it, I'm thinking, well, maybe because, they weren't getting any kind of loving. I'm sorry. I don't know. But these teachers, some of the teachers are there for the right reasons. Some of them really, really care about the kids. It's just like cops. You have bad apples in everything, in every industry, but you have some really good teachers, some really good cops. You have, and you know, I give these people props for dealing with other people's kids day in, day out, even with all of these officers. Good morning, Drea. You know, but there's always going to be a bad apple somewhere in there that's going to take that whole profession, and people generalize, you know, so it's just crazy. But when Danny was up here the other day, you know, she was talking about all of these school shootings and the kids that go into these classes and or people that go into these schools and just start shooting up the place. I know. You are one of the good ones, man. You are. And I can tell you, I can never be a teacher. Never, ever be a teacher. My patience is not that good. I couldn't be a nurse. My patience is not that good. I couldn't. I see the work these people do. I you know, it's just like, oh my God. And you see some of these teachers that are threatening their classrooms. This one teacher last year was beaten up. But then you see teachers that are dragging kids, throwing them to the ground. So it's like, what in the hell? And they have cameras in all of these classrooms here. So I can log in at any time and look and see what's going on. When Chris was in Kids Are Kids, there were cameras in those classrooms. Brian could log in at any time to see what was going on in that classroom. And they've said it. They have really said that. It's just really, really sad what we're doing to our kids, you know. And at one point, you used to have to earn, you know, the right to go to the next grade. Now teachers just pass you because the state gets paid so much money. And then you get these kids that are not learning anything. And I know it is because I know a few really good teachers. Really good teachers. And they really do care about their students. And if they see a kid struggling, they offer that assistance. They offer the tutoring. They do all of that. Oh my God, Christoph, why? And I think teachers need to be paid a hell of a lot more money than what they get. I always believe that. Always. So let me just play this clip from Murdaugh so you can see this bullshit real quick. And then we're going to talk about this. Where is he? Ooh, PM Dawn. Die Without You. Okay. Let me get this. And this will be fair use. Let me put my fair use banner on. Let's see. Fair use. I'm going to take myself off the screen, guys. And full screen layout. And let me go play this.
Lawyers, the surprise announcement aiming to undo what a jury decided in less than 3 hours. Earlier this year, 3 of the jurors telling Today Alec Murdaugh's own testimony worked against him.
Do you think he hurt himself by taking the stand? Did he make it worse?
I think he did.
Yes.
Why?
He's a lawyer. He's able to be emotional with cases. He knows.
These are 3 of the jurors
on and off.
Last
that were
week,
willing
Alec's
to be
only
interviewed.
surviving son, Buster, proclaiming his father's innocence in an exclusive interview for the Fox Nation docuseries The Fall of the House of Murdaugh, saying, "I don't think that he could be affiliated with endangering my mother and brother, but calling it a fair assessment that Alec has characteristics of a psychopath."
No
Bucks are
shit.
also weighing in on the jury and its verdict, explicitly questioning their decision.
I think it was a tilted table from the beginning. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of the jurors felt that way prior to when they had to deliberate. It was predetermined in their minds prior to when they ever heard any shred of evidence that was given in that room.
Sources tell NBC News Murdaugh's attorneys are planning to reveal that new evidence at a news conference later today. Guys.
All right.
And they did it. They revealed. So here's my thing. And yes, I saw roses are red. Okay, a lot of, and this is what I don't understand myself. And yes, students are disrespectful, especially in junior high and high school. They get all this money from the state. Okay. All this money, but you have to bring your own supplies. Now, let me tell you, when I took, and I'm gonna get back to Murdaugh, when I took Kayla to go to the school, her high school has about, I think it's either 13 or 1400 in that area students. Every student was issued a laptop. When I walked in that library, there were laptops lined up, stacked high. So, but a lot of these schools that get all of this assistance, I don't know what they're doing with this money. But when you got to go and you got to buy all of this stuff, which I always, when they were little, I would get the scissors, the glue, the this, the that. You know, I can see you having to get construction paper or posters and stuff like that. But the basic stuff that's supposed to be supplied in these schools are not. You know, most students have to have these calculators and all this other stuff, the scientific calculators. Well, I asked when I went to school, I went in the classroom, all of this, there was this thing hanging on the wall with all of these scientific calculators for these students. So I didn't have to buy any of that. They're there for the students to use in the classroom. Now, I don't know what these other schools, I know Texas are forever saying, you know, that, you know, they hate to ask the parents to buy these things or to donate to the classrooms. But this was, I thought, was for extra stuff that they wanted to do. But no, it's not. They're getting all of this money. And where is this money going to? Where is this money? In the state of Washington, all of these kids are getting free lunch. It doesn't matter your economic status. All the kids in the state of Washington is getting free lunch because of the money they're receiving from the government. They're getting free lunch. The only thing I had to buy for Kayla last year was her gym clothes and her posters and stuff that she needed to do for these projects. Other than that, the school supplied everything. So I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with this money. And then this past summer, the state of Washington was handing out, you know, for every kid that was in school, everybody received $120 per kid, so they can have food during the summer. I'm like, so Kayla was like, why am I getting $120? I eat. I said, Kayla, this is the state. So if you had 5 kids in school, each kid received $120 for the summer, so they can have food during the summer. They serve free lunch and free breakfast and free lunch here. Okay, so that's how Wisconsin is too. Okay. Yeah. Because I was trying to put money on, you know, on her books last year for, you know, when she first started, you know, because I remember in Texas, we had to put money on their lunch thing. And, you know, we were updated, but kept calling and Kelly goes, she was like, Grandma, why? She goes, because I eat I said, but yeah, but you don't, you know, I said, if you look at the ground, but no, they told me no. All the students got free lunch and free breakfast. This year it's the same way. Free breakfast, free lunch. I'm like, okay. And I think that's a great thing. But they're using the money that they receive from the state wisely. Probably so. Okay, you prayed. Okay, so this year is free for you. All right. Whew. So in the affidavit I pulled, I'm just gonna go through some of this because it's 65 damn pages. So the statement of fact in this case, it states that Mr. Murdaugh was, but before I say that, Buster said that he doesn't think that his father had anything to do with hurting his mother and his father. This is the man, and I showed you guys the video of the body cam footage when the bodies were found. He stated that he came down to the kennels because, you know, he was checking on one of the dogs that was sick. Now, we found that he said he wasn't there. He found them deceased. When we saw on that Snapchat video where he was there at the kennels with Maggie and Paul, he lied. When asked in court, why did he lie? He goes, once you start lying, you have to keep lying. He was there. And I said it way back when his case started. If he did not do it, he paid someone to do it. Fact is, Maggie had hired a forensic accountant after Mallory Beach died because the family was suing them and the convenience store, Parker Convenience Store. They were being sued for wrongful death. Maggie hired a forensic accountant, and she was up to no good because she was trying to find their assets and hide assets. Paul kept getting into trouble. So this trouble, he wasn't going to be able to get the family out of. He was going to cost them millions and millions of dollars. Alec doesn't want to lose any money. He's got a pill issue. He's flying in pills. He's flying in prostitutes. This is costing him money. Maggie left him when she found out that he was stealing money from the family business. She left him. Her sister said it. She left him. He kept trying to call and kept trying to talk to her. She didn't want anything to do with him. So what else is he going to do to cover up everything he's been doing? Get rid of the people that's going to expose him and that's going to cost him money. And that was Maggie and Paul. Maggie and Paul. We knew that the housekeeper knew a lot of stuff that was going on within that family. I don't for a second believe this woman tripped and fell backwards, not forwards. She fell backwards. Then you have Stephen, who was rumored to be in a relationship with Buster when he was tutoring him. You got too many debts right there associated. And this young man was hit and run right down the street from their home. Rumor is Buster and his friends did it. That's been a rumor since this happened to that young man. When the cops first got to the scene, they said he was shot. The medical examiner said he was hit by a car. But there was no broken glass, nothing. When the housekeeper died, well, the accidental death, Alec decides that he's going to get one of his friends to represent those young men to sue his insurance company. Those young men never saw any of that money, none of it. The bank president, Alec, and the other attorney took all of that money. They never got a penny. When Stephen died, hit and run, allegedly, and his body was exhumed and they changed it to homicide. Hit and run, but really homicide. Alec's brother goes over to the family's home. He only went because he wanted to find out what was going on. He was going to represent the family. These people are dirty. So now we're here and they're filing a motion to stay. And that is the motion to stay his sentencing. They want a new trial. I don't know what's that going to do. He might not get life, but he's going to still be in prison. But then they're saying, oh no, he probably didn't do it. So they're saying that Mr. Murdaugh was indicted for murder of his wife Maggie and son Paul on July 14, 2022. His murder trial began January 23rd, 2023. I love Clifton Newman, the presiding judge. The trial ran for 6 weeks, ending with a conviction in the evening of March 2nd, 2023. The state rested its case and the chief defense began this case on Friday, blah, blah, blah. So they're saying that Miss Hill, court was held February 20, after returning from a holiday. Miss Hill began to enter the juror rooms often. The affidavit of juror number 630 stated August 14, 2023, and there's the attached exhibit. As the defense began its case, Miss Hill told jurors, y'all are going to hear things that would throw you all off. Don't let this distract you or mislead you. Oh, the affidavit of Holly Miller. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Juror number 741. Additionally, Ms. Hill and juror number 826 for the new jury foreperson on multiple occasions went to other rooms to have private conversations lasting 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes they would go into the jury's room, single occupancy bathroom together. Four-person juror number 826 never said anything about the content of those conversations to the other jurors. Ms. Hill even instructed jurors they could not ask four-person juror number 36 about their conversations. Yes, and you're right. You're absolutely right. Charges should be filed. So they're saying that 2 days later, on February 23rd and continued through the next day, Mr. Murdaugh testified in his own defense. Before he began his testimony, Ms. Hill told jurors not to be fooled by the evidence Mr. Murdaugh's attorney presented, which at least one juror understood to mean that Mr. Murdaugh would lie when he testified. Ms. Hill also instructed the jury to watch him closely, to look at his actions, and to look at his movements, which at least one juror understood to mean that Mr. Murdaugh was guilty. Immediately after Mr. Murdaugh testified, four-person number 826 told the jury that Mr. Murdaugh was crying on cue. Jesus Christ. She also criticized the former four-person juror number 589 for handing Mr. Murdaugh a box of tissues when he was crying on the stand, because that is what the defense wants us to do. Now, this is the same person, Ms. Hill, who made up a story, they're saying, to get a juror thrown off the jury because she didn't think they were going to vote guilty. This shit is crazy. Ms. Hill told Judge Newman about a Facebook posting she purportedly saw on the evening of Friday, February 24th, while perusing a Facebook group page called Walterboro Word of Mouth. And that exhibit is attached. The post purportedly by juror 785's ex-husband, Tim Stone, allegedly stated that his ex-wife was saying that she was on the jury and saying stuff about how verdict was going to be. Judge Newman asked her to produce a copy of the posting. She could not produce a copy, but according to Ms. Hill, a subordinate employee in Clerk's office, Lori Wise, discovered the post was taken down and replaced with an apology post. And they showed that post. Folks, I posted an ugly post yesterday, to which I deleted, and I kind of in a roundabout way directed it towards a certain person. And I would like to apologize to everyone who read it, that's ugly for me to do. And yes, I let Satan control me, and I broke down and started drinking. When I was drunk, I made the post, and I'm sorry. Ooh, Lord. So Timothy Stone, he did the apology. But they got that juror thrown off because they didn't think that she was going to vote not guilty. This case is a whole damn mess. This Miss Hill person. So later that day, Miss Hill told juror number 785 that SLED, South Carolina Law Enforcement Department, and Colleton County Sheriff's Office personnel went to Mr. Stone's house. He confirmed he made the post. He confirmed he made the post. This is a fabrication by Ms. Hill. Ms. Hill told juror number 785 she would somehow reinstate a restraining order juror number 785 previously had against Mr. Stone, which is something that Ms. Hill did not have the authority to do. So Ms. Hill was a busy little beaver. This was a messy, messy little bitch. Yes, Prissy. So, still later that day, Judge Newman examined juror 785 regarding both the non-existent Facebook post and the tenant co-worker email that's attached. I have all of this shit. Juror number 785 described her interaction with Ms. Hill regarding the Facebook post. She denied making any inappropriate comments about the case to third parties and stated she wanted to hear closing arguments before forming an opinion on Mr. Murdaugh's guilt or innocence. After she was dismissed, Judge Newman said, "Oh boy, I'm not too pleased about the clerk interrogating a juror as opposed to coming to me and bringing it to me. And he was right to be concerned." I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God. So the next day, March 1st, 2023, the jury visited Moselle, the site of the murders. During the visit, four-person juror number 826 and Miss Hill walked off to have yet another private conversation. In her book, listen to this, in her book, Miss Hill more vaguely hints at communicating her opinion on Mr. Murdaugh's guilt to the jury during the visit to the Moselle property. While the jurors reviewed Moselle's property, we all could hear and see Alec's story was impossible. That's what I'm saying. His story was impossible for what he said. He said he had been trying to contact Maggie, but he went down to the kennel because he knew there was a sick dog down there. He never, and they asked him 3 or 4 times in his interrogations. I have those videos. If he saw Maggie that day, he said he saw her earlier. She had came to the house, and he was trying to talk with her. He lied about being in that kennel. Okay. Some of us, either from the courthouse, law enforcement, or jury at Moselle, had an epiphany and shared our thoughts with our eyes. At that moment, many of us standing there knew. I knew and they knew that Alex was guilty. Good morning, Jennifer Jean. Girl, Jennifer, I need to come visit you because I know it's getting cold. I need to come out. I need to go canoeing with you guys. I need to drink. I don't smoke. But well, not weed anyway, but I need to come out and have some fun with you guys because I'm telling you, I watch those videos and you guys be having a damn good time. And I said, if I'm gonna go canoeing with anybody, it's gonna be Jennifer Jean, but I gotta wear a life jacket, Jennifer. I'm sorry. Gotta wear a life jacket. I'm drinking, I get nervous that I might fall off the boat. I am so serious. My God, Jennifer, you guys be having a damn good time. Y'all be jamming. And I like the video with y'all at the lake house too. Well, at that, y'all had me rolling with y'all karaoke. I was like, oh, I can have fun with them. So the day Judge Newman also held an in-common conference regarding tenant co-worker email in which he decided to revisit the Facebook post issued by Ms. Hill. So here's the thing. Ms. Hill wrote this damn book. And they have the transcript of Judge Newman talking to Ms. Hill. Everything is here. And I'm trying to see how I'm going to post this. I can post the link so you guys can read all of this shit. It is 65. Oh, yeah. Kayaking. Sorry, not canoeing. Kayaking. Thank you. I'm sorry. Miss Hill wrote a book. Miss Hill was a busybody. Now, does that change the fact that Alex Murdaugh is guilty? Hell no. Mushroom girl, y'all be having a good time. I like the Jeep. I like the fact that you guys be videotaping yourselves to the lake. You guys be having fun. And I know Canada's beautiful. You guys be having fun. But I definitely want to go kayaking. That is something I can say I never did. Never, ever, ever did. So Miss Hill actually told these jurors too that after the trial, they would be famous and predicted that the media would request interviews with them. Miss Hill even handed out reporters' business cards to jurors during the trial. Juror number 578 took this to heart and made an appearance on Good Morning America the night of the verdict, which is why on the day the jury began deliberations, he wore a suit coat for the first time during the trial. You're good. You know what? Before I go anywhere, I need to go see Vanessa. Sorry, I need to go see Vanessa. Girl, I'm coming. I should have came when I was closer. I'm coming. I promise. I'm coming. I got to go to San Francisco. I got to go to Florida. And I got to go to California. And I definitely need to go to Canada. I'm closer to Canada, though. Whoo! Hold on. So after the verdict and immediately before the sentencing, Ms. Hill pressured the jury to speak as a group to reporters from a network news show. She traveled with jurors to New York when they appeared on the Today Show. She got her book deal. Her book, Behind the Doors of Justice, was released on August 1st, 2023. A last point about Ms. Hill's efforts to promote her book shows her dishonest efforts to profit from the trial continued well after the verdict. This woman, oh my God. So let me see. Where is the news? Hold on. I am too through. So here is the news conference. I'm not going to read all of this. Let me just get the news conference. I got to figure out a way to post this for you guys. I really do, because you need to see. When I was reading this, I was laughing. I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, how do you figure people are not going to find out about this? How do you figure that people are not going to put this shit together? So hold on. Let me just show you this news break. Hold on. This is quick. Hold on. I'm not going to play because they had a long news conference. Hold on. Here we go.
Taking you straight to South Carolina right now, where lawyers for Alec Murdaugh are holding a press conference after filing a motion saying they've got new evidence.
Remands the case for an evidentiary hearing. We would also request that those in the media and the public respect the privacy of those included in this filing. Jim and I want to thank those on our team who stand behind us and have worked tirelessly to ferret out the truth. Alex Murdaugh maintained and still maintains his innocence in the murder of Maggie and Paul and believes the truth will ultimately prevail. Jim?
The right to a jury trial,
Stand over here.
the right to a jury trial is a fundamental principle of our justice system. Jurors must be free from outside influences and must decide the case solely on the evidence presented in the courtroom, subject to the rules of evidence, subject to the rules of the court, and most importantly, subject to the crucible of cross-examination that's guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution, and that is the right to confront witnesses. When jurors receive private communications outside the confines of a public courtroom, the Sixth Amendment is violated and numerous other constitutional rights are violated. And that's not Jim Griffin on the law. That is the law of the land. And I want to quote from a decision from the South Carolina Court of Appeals, which is behind me.
No, they're not
states
from his
this:
firm.
where there is a private
They
communication
disassociated themselves.
of a court official to members of the jury, an occurrence which cannot be tolerated if the sanctity of the jury system is to be maintained. A new trial must be granted unless it clearly appears that the subject matter of the communication was harmless and could not have affected the verdict. What we had filed today, supported by sworn testimony of jurors, is that the clerk of court had improper private communications with the jurors, and the subject matter of those communications was the credibility of the defense that the Murdaugh legal defense team put up, and it was the believability of the defendant's own testimony.
Okay, let me just stop that right here, because it doesn't change the fact this man lied on the stand. He lied. Well, he lied throughout his questioning. He lied on his whereabouts. He lied about everything. What she did is wrong, and he's right about that. But it still doesn't take you. We're talking about 4 jurors. Okay. But they said they already knew he was guilty. What she did was wrong. She not only did that, but she actually had the bailiffs, the film crew. She negotiated a contract with the film crew for the Colleton County Sheriff's Department so they can use their bailiffs. Then she did an addendum to say they had to pay them $1,000 per day for use of courthouse facilities. And I'm serious, this woman was her own one-person destruction course. Now, does that change the fact that he did kill his wife and kids? No. But yes, he should be granted a new trial if they find that these jurors are stating that she made up their minds, if that's what they're saying. And we heard that one juror said they took it to mean this, they took it to mean that. But when you're telling me when everybody went to Moselle property, everybody said they knew he was guilty. Now, she was dealing with one juror. This shit is off the chain. But she did write a damn book, and it was just published. So she was doing things to further her own good.
Now, there's been a lot of talked about whether Alex should have taken the stand. I can assure you, when we considered what factors and what we should and should not do and considered whether he should take the stand, we never considered the likelihood, as reported to us by the jurors, that the clerk of court would go in to the sanctity of the jury room before he testified and tell the jurors, don't be fooled by his testimony, watch out for his body language. And that is what the sworn testimony that we have filed in court today says. And if that is true, which we have every reason to believe that it is, and no reason to believe that it's not, there's no choice but the courts to grant a new trial.
Hi, everyone. George Stephan.
He's right. He is absolutely right. Now, will that change his guilty? If they'll find him guilty again? This is crazy. I want to know what's going to happen to Rebecca Hill, the clerk of the court. because she had extensive private communication with members of the jury during the trial. You cannot do that. Where was the bailiff at that stands outside these doors while they're letting her in and letting her take jurors out of the room and go have private conversations in a bathroom? Where was the bailiff? Why wasn't this reported to Judge Newman? But then again, it might not, because if they're questioning these jurors and they're stating that they she didn't make up their minds for them, then there's no grounds for a new trial. It depends on how the judge actually looks at this, because if her communications with them did not change their minds about what they heard and what they saw, they might not grant a new trial. They might not. But Ms. Rebecca Hill has some issues. Trust me, she has been fired. She would never work for any court again. But she done wrote a book, and now this is putting her in a spotlight. Are they going to take her book off the shelf? Who knows? Can they order that? Can they order her not to profit from that? So they're asking for an evidentiary hearing. And that's what they're going for. And I really don't blame them. So I'm just going to read one of these jury statements. It says, I was juror number 630 in the case of State of South Carolina versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh. Toward the end of the trial, after the President's Day break, but before Mr. Murdaugh testified, the clerk of the court, Rebecca Hill, told the jury not to be fooled by the evidence presented by Mr. Murdaugh's attorneys, which I understood to mean that Mr. Murdaugh would lie when he testified. That tells me then that she was influencing this jury right here. She also instructed the jury to watch him closely immediately before he testified, including look at his actions and look at his movements, which I understood to mean he was guilty. Immediately after he testified, the four-person juror number 826, they took his name out, said Mr. Murdaugh was crying on cue. The four-person juror 826 criticized the former four-person juror 589 for handing, we just heard that. The jury frequently discussed the case during breaks before deliberations. Toward the end of the trial, Ms. Hill came into the jury room a lot. She came in there a lot. And when they began the deliberations, Ms. Hill told them this shouldn't take long. And then if we deliberate past 11 p.m., we would be taken directly to a hotel. So she's telling them either you find your verdict soon or we're going to have to take you to a hotel because we're going to sequester you. We had driven from our homes that morning and were prepared to stay overnight. Additionally, smokers on the jury asked to be allowed to take smoke breaks, but were told they could not smoke until deliberations were complete, which is BS. I had questions about Mr. Murdaugh's guilt, but voted guilty because I felt pressured by the other jurors. After the verdict and immediately before sentencing, Ms. Hill pressured the jury to speak as a group to reporters for a television show. Signed and sealed. They have, oh my God. Ooh. So they have statements from, was it 3 jurors? Hold on. 2 jurors, 2. They have 2 jurors' statements, affidavits they have. And then they have the records when the judge was questioning Ms. Hill. All of that's here. Good morning, ASOPs. Yeah, they need to take all her royalties and pull that book from the shelf. You know, I was thinking that too. Seriously, I was thinking that too. This is a small town. You know the rules. You know what you can and cannot do. And I was sitting there thinking, is this a setup? Seriously, I was thinking, is this a setup? Did she do this on purpose to make sure he got a retrial? What is the relationship with Rebecca Hill and Alex Murdaugh? He was one of the biggest attorneys there. You know she's worked with him. You know who she knows who she is. Good morning, Snosberry. Long time no see. Good morning. This shit with, I'm serious. That's the first thing I thought about it when I heard about it. I said, was this a setup to ensure that he had a retrial? That's what I want to know. Now, there's a part 2 to the Murdaugh story. It's going to be coming out and it get more in depth with everything, especially after the trial and everything. I'm thinking this is a setup because you are a clerk of the court. You have worked on many trials. You know what you can and cannot do. Then my question is, where was the bailiff? Why was this woman allowed to take, it's like the prison guards. You're allowed to go take somebody out their cell without any paperwork and you're having sex with them. This shit sounds like a total setup to me. Good morning, Snuggle Bunny. But it's not, okay, he hasn't been tried. He's only been tried once. Oh, it's okay, Snoz. I'm glad to see you. So he's been tried once. Now, if he gets tried the second time, now that's true. It'll be double jeopardy if you try to do a third trial. But this shit, to me, sounds like a setup. That's the question. I'm telling you, she's never done this before because I've read through this. There is nothing that shows Rebecca has ever done this before. Nothing. Now, how would these jurors know? I know that the defense attorneys, they question them after the trial. They want to know this and that. Now you got 2 jurors that are telling them, hey, this is what she did. Get the fuck out of here. It sounds like a setup to me. It sounds like she was on the payroll of the Murdaughs, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. That's what it sounds like to me. Because you are a clerk of the court. You know what you can and cannot do. No one believes this man is innocent. Shot his wife in the back of the fucking head. She was running away. And if you guys missed that clip I did, I showed that body cam footage of him when the cops got there that night. Maggie was still on the ground. Paul was on the ground. Paul was closest to the kennel. Maggie was running away. He was there. And the only reason they found out he was there is because of that Snapchat video. He even lied and said he wasn't there. He didn't tell the truth until they put him on the stand. And that's when Buster first heard that his father was at the kennel the night his brother and mother were caved. I don't know why I'm saying kid. I've been saying killed for a while. She can't be that stupid. Thank you, Legs for Days. Nice to see you. I think it's a setup. I think she was in the pockets of the murder. I really believe it's a setup. She has worked with, they held that case in the courthouse. They had to remove the family photos and everything. The same courthouse that Alex practiced in. Everybody knows each other. The bailiff is not stopping her from taking people out of the jury room and having private conversations. That's bullshit. It's a setup. She was paid to do it. And now they're looking for it because they had nothing else for a retrial. Nothing else for a retrial. I believe it's a setup, and I really believe that he doesn't deserve a retrial because it's, but then they're pressing it. They're pressing it. Yeah. So they're pressing it. So that is my belief. And I definitely was, and I saw Jackie was going live last night about it, and I still haven't seen her live, but I am going to listen to it today. But I believe this whole thing is a setup. When the first time I heard about this case, I said this man was guilty. I still stand by what I said. He's guilty. I look at everything that was going on during that time. He is guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Oh, Sassy, I'm sorry you were timed out. Please don't go anywhere. I'm sorry. Yep, I see it now. Crazy cat. Crazy. Oh, shit, so sorry. Yes, Scarlett, it was an accident. Okay, she was just timed out, right? Not hitting. Good morning, Arthur Stewell. How are you? So to me, that doesn't change my opinion. And if you read through everything, if you look at the case from beginning to end, this man is guilty. He lied. The video that I have up, that body cam footage of the cops and everybody going to the Moselle property down by the kennel. You can hear him. He's just talking and talking. He even tried to blame it on Mallory Beach's family, saying that Paul had been getting threats. He was doing everything he could to have them turn away from looking at him. Then he paid his cousin, the drug dealer, to shoot him, to make it seem like somebody was coming after him, but you had a flat tire in one county, but you drove down the road to the other county, and then they airlifted you. And when I first heard it, I said, no, bullshit. He's trying to take the heat off of him because he knows they're coming. I feel the same way about Buster. Buster had everything to do with Stephen's death, and I stand by that, and I can't wait till they cuff his ass too. That whole family, even a grandpa, they were all crooked. It's okay, sweetie. See, I didn't even watch all of the trial. I was watching all of this shit unfold from day one. Then I went back and I found out about Mallory. Then I went back and found about the accident he had with his girlfriend in a truck and how he had been liquor bottles. How even after Mallory died, he was on the property, but he was staying at one of their cottages on the property. He was still having parties, still drinking, like he didn't have a care in the world. Paul didn't care about anybody but Paul. And that's the child they raised. That's the child they raised. He didn't care about anybody but himself. He took that young woman's life. Then they tried to blame it on someone else that was driving that boat. The grandpa, the daddy, they all showing up at the hospital, trying to pressure these people to say somebody else was driving. Yep, even the granddaddy, who always protected Paul. Paul went to his granddaddy for everything. Because Alec was closer to Buster. Maggie was closest to Paul. But his granddaddy protected him. He killed his wife and he killed his son. I don't care if he didn't pull the damn trigger. He did it. But yeah, he pulled it. He did it. He's guilty. And he needs to rot. And then we hear about him losing his tablet privileges and phone privileges because he's on the phone with his attorney. His attorney is recording their conversations for a documentary that they're going to be doing. Your attorney should know better. A lot of dead people around this family. Exactly. Exactly. I don't feel bad for Buster. I feel bad that he had to, because he was sitting there, but you sitting in court when they played that shit and your mouth just dropped. That's your daddy. That's your daddy on the phone, on that video, talking to your brother and your mother right before he caved them. That's your daddy that did that shit. But then you say, yes, he has psychopathic tendencies. He is a fucking psychopath. And I'm not talking about no pill addiction, because there ain't no pill addiction that's going to make me kick. It was about the money. The money, the money, the money. Money is the root of all evil. You didn't want to give up money. So Buster finally settled that lawsuit with Mallory Beach's family. They're not saying how much he settled for, but he settled it on his behalf and his mother's behalf. They're full of shit. Yep, they're dirty. They're dirty too. And I believe Rebecca Hill was working for him the whole damn time. And that's why all of this shit happened, because you had nothing else for an appeal. You couldn't find nothing. You weren't going to find anything because Newman followed the letter of the law. He made sure he stayed. And when he reprimanded Alex on that sentencing day, he hit him between the eyes. And he said, I'm sure that you're going to find something to appeal. He said, but, you know, and then he still has other charges. He still has other charges that Newman is presiding over. Fuck Alec Murdaugh. I don't feel guilty for him. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't feel sorry for him at all. Yep. And they held that trial in that courthouse. That's why I believe that woman was working for them the whole time, just in case there was nothing. You're going to tell me that you're going to be, you're allowed to take a juror out? Get out of here. Get out of here. Where's the bailiff? Anyway, that's some food for thought, people. I'm going to see how can I have the document. I'm going to have to download it, put it in a zip file. And I'm going to try to do that today and put it on my community wall so you guys can read it for yourselves. So you can see. I do believe this was a total freaking setup. There's nobody that's stupid that has worked for that courthouse all these years to be caught up in some bullshit like this. Yep. Reba McEntire. I'm serious. There is no way you're that stupid. No way you're that damn stupid to be caught up in this type of trial doing the dumb shit you did. I don't believe it for a minute. So anyway, I have to get myself together because I have to, let me see. I just think the world would be better placed with a lot more. Yes, a lot more Judge Newmans. I love Judge Newman. And when he told him, when you close your eyes every night, I'm sure you see Maggie and Paul. Alec goes, yes, sir. I see them every night. You didn't get what he was saying. They were haunting your ass. They're haunting you from what you did to them. Haunting you. Buster, you're next. Oh, Buster, you're next. Yep. You're next, Buster. Can't wait for it. But I am going to watch that Fox thing, that special they did. I was told by somebody yesterday that I really need to watch it. So I'm going to watch it. But I didn't want to watch it before I spoke about this morning. And I saw Jackie was going live, but I didn't want what Jackie was saying to cloud my after I read this. And that's what I do even with reality shows. I don't watch people that's covering what I'm going to cover because I don't want their opinions to cloud what I'm looking at. Oh my God. Yeah, Paul spoke. I don't think he was ever lost. Like I said before, I would need to see him in a body bag and see the bag being pulled into the drawer in the morgue. I didn't believe he was missing from 1 minute and 1 point. 1 minute. Yep. They thought they can get away with anything. Yeah. Oh, he did? Yep. You're next, Buster. Hi, Aesop's. You are definitely next. So, you know, and the housekeeper's sons did finally get the money. The bank president, he's up on charges. They stole that money. Crooked ass people. Crooked. Hi, Christy. Good morning. Crooked as shit. So I'm waiting to see what happens into Stephen's investigation because they're still investigating. And I said it, Buster, you are next. Yep, they did get the money. They did get it. They had to sue. Bank president was involved. Alec Murdaugh's friend, the other lawyer, was involved. Yeah, they stole that money. They got that settlement from that insurance company, and they never gave it to those two young men. Never saw that money. They didn't even know the case was settled. Bunch of fucking crooks. See, guys, I get overly heated talking about this man. Oh, I'm sorry. I just cursed. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Snuggle. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Tell him I said hi. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. Yeah, they for the money. Well, no, I don't think they paid the housekeeper for the money. They're saying that it was an accident, okay? They're saying it was an accident. Alec wasn't there supposedly when the accident happened, but he's the one that the cop spoke to. I think Maggie pushed that woman. I think Maggie was a nasty piece of work too. This is the woman that was trying to hide assets because her family was getting sued for wrongful death. I don't think she was a nice woman at all. I don't think she was a nice woman at all. But does she deserve to be murdered? No. Oh my God, that's like Gwen Branston's grandson. So I'm just telling y'all, I don't believe that. I think she was having an argument with. Her. It got heated, and she pushed her, and that's my. She pushed her, and she fell back and hit her head on those concrete steps. That is my assumption. And there's no way you're going to trip on some dogs and fall backwards when you're going up the stairs. You're going to fall forward. I don't even have to be a damn CSI investigator to know that shit. Oh, I just cursed again. Darn it. I think she and Maggie were arguing because she found all the pills that Alex was hiding underneath the mattress. Yep, and the dogs were in the kennel because that guy said that he didn't see any dogs, the groundskeeper. Y'all need to go read up on this and see all the statements. He said she was going up the stairs with her coffee. The next thing you know, you heard a scream. He didn't hear any dogs. No, I don't think she was having an affair with Alex. No, not at all. Yep. I don't think she was having an affair with Alex at all. But she took better care of Paul than his own mother did. That's why Paul always went to his grandfather. Yep, and I'm sure there's a lot more if they start looking to see all these people that were disappearing and dying that was associated with that family. So yes, he just did an interview where he said that he admits that his father's a psychopath, but he doesn't think his father would ever hurt his mother and brother. Really? Your father would have hurt you too if you were going to cost him money. Alec is about Alec. That's it. He was going to be losing all kinds of money because she was going to be suing him, and she was going to tell the partners about him stealing and pilfering from the law firm, which is what he was doing. So y'all know this case has me from beginning to end. I've been following this, just like Doomsday Mom. Following and following. But this case, before it hit mainstream media, I was all over this case. I was getting sent videos from the boat docks and everything else. You know, I watched Mallory Beach walk along the dock with her boyfriend. I saw the after 5 days took to find that young woman's body. And they wouldn't let her mother down to the boat docks where they were looking, but they let Maggie down there. Not the victim's mother, but they let the Murdaugh down there. Get the fuck out of here. All crooked. All crooked. Oh, you mean Buster, who got kicked out of law school for plagiarism? You mean him? Selling off property? He damn sure is not going to be a lawyer. Living off his girlfriend, who knows? And the brothers is dirty also. He was the cleanup man. They never counted on this getting this big. How do you sit there and call your son and ask him, hey, what are you doing? I just want to let you know that your mother and your brother were killed. But then you said that you weren't there because you had to go visit your mother because she was ornery because your dad was in the hospital. Then in one statement, you said that the housekeeper called you. You had to get over there because the next day your dad was going to be in the hospital. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Your statements, your lies, everything. And this is public information now, guys, too, so you can go and pull it anytime you want to. You can watch the jailhouse phone calls. You watch how he was looking at his son's Buster's girlfriend, how he was, because Buster is bi, or all the way, don't know, but he was lusting after that young girl who was so happy to be a part of the Murdaugh clan. That's the only reason she's with Buster. Nobody wanted to hire her either. And she passed the bar. No one's hiring her because she's associated with them. Unless she just got hired recently. Yep, the brother and sister are dirty too. Just dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. But guys, I love you guys. I'm going to see. I can talk about Murdaugh all day. I really can, because this is the nastiest piece of work I've ever seen. But you just, yeah, Alex has a sister. He has two brothers and a sister. I know but the two boys and one of the two men, and one of them wasn't in court. The brother that, let me see which brother it was. The brother that went to Stephen's family's house, I can't remember which brother wasn't in court. But one of his brothers was not in court. There you go, John Moore. All dirty. All dirty. Yep, all dirty. But they've been dirty. Been dirty. Over 100 years they ruled that county. Over 100 years. The whole family. Granddaddy, great granddaddy. You know, Big Daddy. But I'm going to go and I'm going to listen to Jackie's later. But I'm going to get Kayla together so I can get her, because she's going to ride the bus today. Yep. Whole family. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Please tell a friend or two. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I really come on and just, you know, I still have to get some time. I need to get these other two cases together that I'm working on. Hells to the Nana, how are you? And that's what I was saying, damn it, Mandy. We really do need to look at what else they may be covering up. Damn it, Mandy, you're here. So this morning, I caught some of MRE's live. So, And I heard him say, and I haven't finished listening, but I heard him say that his channels are being reported and that they're shutting him down, and he had 6 other channels for backup. Who's reporting his channels like that? Because I go in and he does make me laugh. Who's reporting his channel? And when I went and watched the video, well, I was in the live, he was talking about his dog Rocco when he did the live with his dog Rocco. Do you know who's reporting MRE's channel like that? Because that is crazy. That's what I want to know. Who's doing that? I'm trying to wait and see if she's going to type. But it's just crazy to actually see people that are reporting and taking down people's channels for what? Because people are speaking their mind. You know, people have a right to talk and to say what they have to say. If you don't like it, don't tune in. Don't listen. When he's talking about stuff that interests me, I'm in there. Stuff that I want to hear, stuff that I want to know, because you hear stuff here, you hear stuff there, and then you listen to all sides and you form your own damn opinions. Because no one's going to tell me who I should and shouldn't follow. He won't tell us, but his channel is about to be struck down. They reported a couple of his videos, and someone saved the link. He had privated and turned that show in as well. Oh, shit. That's what I tell people, that even if you private a video, YouTube can still get it. YouTube can still strike it, even if it's on private, as long as you have that link to that video. It's gone way too far. So, you know, because when I was listening to him this morning, I thought about bomb. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Shit is crazy. But no one's going to tell me where and I hear all this stuff. So I go look for my damn self. I go look. That's one thing people don't realize about me. I do research. I will find the shit. So don't tell me what, the only way you can get this if you're a family member. Bullshit. Bullshit. So anyway, wait a minute. I'm going to see if anything good's going on. Trying to see. Oh, no breaking news. No breaking news. But anyway, I do. I hope you guys have a great one. Whose channel is getting struck? The guy's name is Mob. He goes by MRE, but the channel is Mob Rats Exposed. I heard him say he has a new channel, but I need to go back and see. I need to go see the link so I can get it, so I can subscribe to that. It's getting out of hand. Yep, pulling up on people's homes, doing dumb shit like that. That's crazy. Accusing people of shit without no fucking proof. I don't like that. If you've got the proof, show it, put it out there. Put it out there. You say you got this, you have that, put it out there. I don't like the generalization. When you're using they. No, say who the fuck you're talking about. No they. Thank you, Snuggle Bunny. It is. It's getting out of hand. You don't like what somebody has to say, don't listen. I don't. You think I'm going to go listen to somebody talking about me and putting out? Now, when I do hear it, oh boy, we got problems. I ain't going to go listen or look for that shit. Snuggle Bunny, I just go with the gut. I read the shit and I see it. And that's why I was reading some of these affidavits and I'm listening to this shit. Nobody is that stupid. That Rebecca Hill is not that damn stupid. You worked in that courthouse long enough to know what you can and cannot do. I don't like the riddles either, Breezy. You know me. I do not like the riddles. Hi, 2 skulls, 1 swing. Yeah, I will. As soon as I find a link to his channel, I'm going to put it. I'm going to go back and listen. If you go to, it's Mob Rats Exposed. He had over 6,000, 7,000. Now he's started a new channel. That one's getting ready to get struck. So he said he has 6 others waiting in the wing. And I like his conversations. I mean, he does. Half the people he talks about, I don't know. But he does a lot of videos on his dog. His dog, Rocco, is, I mean, beautiful. Beautiful dog. Oh, damn. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. I really am. I just caught him. Well, I thought he was live. When I got up, I saw the notification and I went in and I was listening. And I was like, what? Oh, yeah. I caught some of her live the other night. I was in her chat when she was on Rumble, and I have to go back and finish it. I'm serious. I just go to sleep. I just lay in my bed and go to sleep. So I definitely have to go back and finish listening to her live. And he does great history streams. That's what I like. I like Stand Up Guy's channel because he talks about his time when he was working on all these sets. I love to hear him talk about the people he's met on the set. You know, I laugh. I actually laugh when he's talking about these other people too, but I go to channels for certain things. Oh, 2 skulls. Okay, your surgery was canceled. So when did they, okay, so when are you going to go back? I go to different channels for different reasons. So, you know, I like their content. But it was one channel I was not going to. When I hear that you did a domestic violence stream, but you've got a damn man in your chat that's holding a wrench and that was that spent 22 years for abuse. Are you fucking kidding me? That's a joke. Yeah, I love Savage. I love Savage. And Marie. October. Okay. Got you. So yeah, so you see, I can come live in the mornings and we can have conversations about anything. But I appreciate you guys and all your comments in the chat, and the fact that you guys do follow these cases, and the fact that you know that you know stuff. I learn stuff too when I'm in here. You know, somebody will say something like, for real? I didn't know that. So thank you for being with me and hanging out with me this morning. But I really need to go. It is now 7:13. I have to get some clothes on so I can get Kayla to her bus stop. And I'm going to walk with her to the bus stop this morning so she can catch the bus to school. And she's taking a city bus. It's just a straight, and there's a lot of kids that actually take the city bus. So I'm going to walk with her up there this morning and stand there until she gets on the bus. And then I will see you. I don't know. I might come back later on this afternoon if I'm not bored. I might just come back this afternoon. And so we can finish chit-chatting about the Murdaughs. Have a great day, everybody. And I really, really do appreciate every single one of you that come into the chat. I really do. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Breezy Girl, you too, Crazy Cat Mama. Yes, I'm on vacation until Friday. So I am on vacation. I think I might log in tomorrow just to catch up on some things, but I am off until Friday. Told you I get like just about 5 weeks, and I just don't take my time. So thank you, Christy. Go back, enjoy it. Thank you, guys. And don't forget to leave me a comment, especially if you're following other cases that I may not be following. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are watching. And I am going to talk about Letitia Staunch, too. That's coming up. I just have to gather some more stuff. But I am going to talk about her. Definitely want to talk about her. But you guys have a great day. Love all of you. Bye. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play my song going out. Y'all know I gotta play my winning, so we all can have a winning day. Bye, guys.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Have a great Wednesday, everyone. Bye.